Hey y'all, welcome back to Come On Out Podcast. I always say this, but like it's been a hot minute.
It's been like a real hot minute this time. We actually mean it.
But yeah, it's basically about to be the new year.
Yes, it's New Year's Eve at the moment. We're figuring out our New Year's Eve plans. A stressful occasion.
Yeah, I feel like it always is. I honestly hate New Year's Eve.
I agree. It's really not a special holiday. Like, I'm a Halloween fan. I'm a big Halloween and 4th of July fan. But like New Year's Eve is like weird. Like, I don't know. There's nothing really that special going on.
It's like never really fun.
The roads are always atrocious.
Yeah, it's always snowing.
Last year I had COVID. So I had a horrible New Year's Eve last year. So I have to make up for it. This has to be a good New Year's Eve.
I'm getting like good New Year's Eve vibes, but like I don't know.
Yeah, we don't have a plan yet.
Yeah. Oh, also we changed our scenery for this episode.
Yeah, because we thought it'd be more like casual, more conversation like.
Yeah,
if we were sitting, because this is mine and Jazzy's thinking. Beanbag. We have really good conversations here.
It's called a love sack.
Yeah,
I did wink at the camera.
You what?
I winked at the camera. Oh, hopefully I don't care. Okay, but like, okay, wait. Anyway, back to on topic. Yeah. What's today's episode, Danny?
Okay, so today we're talking about secrets, basically, and how anything that you do or say in high school gets around. Like, it's just how it is. It's how high school works. Everyone knows that.
There are really no secrets.
Yeah. So we wanted to start with, in the past, we've done like anonymous Google Forms. And so we posted one, like, wanted you guys to fill it out, but we just got some very like
fake responses. We're looking at it right now. They're just
less than mature responses, just stuff that doesn't matter, or just like just fake. So
we're gonna have to maybe do this another time. Maybe we'll do it on Instagram. I feel like maybe Instagram polls would be better.
Some. Yeah
We did on Snapchat, and Snapchat I feel like people take less seriously.
Yeah, so
let's begin.
Yeah.
Our first thing we kind of want to talk about is, because high school is like that kind of, I would say, like transitioning period, you know, right before college. It's pretty much like, no matter if you go to a really big high school or small, stuff goes around, at least in like friend groups or like specific groups and stuff. And so when you do things, you're gonna have to realize that, okay, you want to tell someone like what you've done. I don't know, that can be in any context, positive, negative, could do with anything, but like people talk, like, because I don't know, I feel like people try to make relevancy out of things all the time.
Like, even when like I'll get in awkward situations with people that I'm maybe not that close with, and I don't know why I do this. I know I'm not the only one, but like the first thing in my brain is like, oh, like, let's talk about someone else.
I know,
you know, it's just kind of, it's like a mutual, like, oh, we both know this person, like, let's talk about this person, but it's not your business.
Or like the conversation kind of flows into something, and like something comes up in your mind, and it's like, oh wait, did you hear about? And then it just goes into something. I think with the issue, I don't know if it's really an issue, it's kind of just like life, I feel like. But I feel like in high school specifically, I think rumors are way easier to start. And then when you're talking about someone, you're about to meet someone, you already like kind of know, maybe you don't know, but like if you know someone you're gonna meet, what they've done, if they have like big secrets already out there, and then you base it off that.
I read somewhere that like 80% of human conversation is negative and about someone else. Like, it's so common to talk trash, like not trash necessarily, but just like gossip and whatever else, because like that's just what people find interesting.
Yeah, people
like, it's just
gossip.
Like natural human instinct to like find that stuff interesting.
Which I don't even know how to feel about it, because it is natural human instinct, but I think it can be like bad, especially with friendships. Like what we talked about going into this episode is when, you know, you have a friend, or like you are that friend who, you know, someone like confides something in you, and then like you think it's like irrelevant to the friend you're telling, but you have to like get it off your chest. Like it's like, she, like, this person's secret's so big, like I need to tell someone, and then they end up telling someone that they confide in, and it just keeps going, because, you know, like, do you really keep secrets, Danny?
Like, no. So I feel like I try, definitely when I was younger too, when I was in like 8th grade, I tried to keep secrets too. I don't know why, but I did. But like eventually they'll come out. Like, I'll maybe hold in a secret for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then like something will happen that just like forces the secret out of me. Like, or it's just been too long where I'm like, oh my god, like, let me just tell you this. Or like we ran out of conversation or something, and I'm like, like, what would fill this silence? Like, let me tell you a secret about myself.
Yeah.
Or I was telling Jazzy earlier too that I do this thing where I'll tell different people in my life different parts of the story, or like not the full truth maybe. So like
so no one really knows
Yeah.
what Danny has done.
I like it that way. I like to keep my life a secret. But I'll like this morning I asked Jazzy like, oh, what did I tell you about so and so? Because I wasn't sure how much of my secret she knew, and I didn't want to like, because I've told
yourself?
yeah, like I've told, not that Jazzy knows everything about me, but I've told
Do
just
I?
different. You do. But I've told different people different amounts of my secrets, and so I like don't want to like accidentally expose myself
Okay, that's fair.
when I'm like I want to continue off of what you last heard, and if not, then I would tell you the rest of the secret.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, oh, you only told me this, I'm like, oh my god, well, since then this has happened.
Okay, I feel like honestly, I don't. Okay, about myself at least, like if something happens that's like exciting, I'll just like literally spill it to everyone.
Yeah.
Like there's been moments where like the second after something happens, I'll call Danny and then I'll call like
Yeah.
5 other, like I have like a close circle where I'll just tell people things, and then I'll be in my classes and like there's a specific class that I just tell everyone everything, and so I don't feel like I'm really that much of a secret
I
keeper.
don't think you're a secret keeper.
Like I don't really have a lot of secrets. I
No.
feel like most people pretty much know.
yeah.
Unless maybe if it was like really something serious.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think about like I'm really trying to think here, but I honestly don't think I have anything that I've like really tried to hide.
I think there's also like secrets, and there's things that you just purposely don't tell someone.
Like confidential.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or like stuff about like my family life. You don't know like a lot about like my family life, or like I'm not gonna tell you something about like a distant relative. Like that's
Yeah.
not necessarily like keeping a secret. That's just like simply not sharing the information. So back to the whole trust thing. And so when I tell you a secret, because like I trust you and I confide in you, then you're gonna go like you might go tell someone else that you trust. That's
Yeah.
how secrets are spread, basically.
That is how they are.
It's like it's not necessarily out of like a place of like hate most of the time, you know, where it's like good friends that like you should be able to trust and stuff, but it's like one friend tells someone they trust, and then that friend tells someone else that they trust.
And then it just keeps going, and then eventually it goes out.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I think some of the times what I see is when the secret involves 2 people. Those are the secrets that happen because I read this novel, and it's called like the Secret of Life Secrets, and it's basically like psychology, like why people keep secrets. And one of the things they said is that one of the main secrets people keep is romantic desires. And so it calls it a secret, but I think that this is like probably one of the secrets that everyone wants to know. So when something involves 2 people, one person might not say something, but I like to say like that the guy, it's usually the girl doesn't want to say anything, but the guy likes to brag about it.
I feel like it's the opposite.
Really?
Recently, I feel like it's more like the guy kind of wants to keep it a secret.
It depends on what
It
it
does.
is.
Like typically, like I feel like F-boys like want to like, you know, like they want to just go on their merry way and like have whatever, and they're past a secret. And like, but the girl kind of like wants to tell all of her girlfriends, and that's how it gets out, is because like her girlfriends
The
go tell
girls
her
know?
girlfriends.
But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like guys just always talk.
Yeah, I think it depends. It definitely depends on the people. That's funny that we have different opinions. On
Yeah.
that.
Going off of like the 2 people, you know, keeping secrets, I want to ask you, Danny, has there ever been like a rumor or something like, I want to say like false maybe spread about you?
Actually, recently.
Oh,
There
recently.
was like someone at a group hangout said to one of his friends that I'm obsessed with him and like want something more. And I don't know, that was just like not, I've never ever said that. Like those words have never ever come
Yeah.
out of my mouth. And honestly, it was quite the opposite situation in my head, at least.
That's funny.
Yeah, but thank God that one of my girlfriends was upstairs, because she was able to like chime in and be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, I'm sure that's not true. And then like I was able to clear it up with him, or with the friend at least. And whatever, me and the other kid ended up like talking it out, and like we're fine. But that was just, I don't know, that was weird. I was just kind of like, why would you like say that? I've never ever said those words. Like,
Yeah.
that was just like a weird scenario. How
Okay.
about you?
I'm trying to honestly think. I can say that I've been in like moments where someone was like, I heard blah 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 blah. I can't ever like remember the full
Yeah,
moment, but
yeah.
it's like, wait, no. It's
Yeah.
not what happened. I'm gonna have to come back to that because
Okay,
I gotta
okay.
think here. But I really do think like we talked about. Okay, this is so random, but me and Denny were in psychology class last year, and do you remember like learning one of the things about like your memory and how like every time like you reappear a thought or like the surface of your brain, like it alters because like you
very
forget
briefly.
yeah. So it's almost like the game Telephone, I feel like, where if like a little bit of your own mind alters what you think happened, then like when you say it to someone, it's gonna get altered all the way around. So I think that's how rumors maybe spread. Maybe not always intentional. Like that sounds like an intentional, like I want people to think that Danny was in love with me, but it's more like, okay, like when things actually become spread, when secrets are keep told, it's gonna alter, like people are gonna hear different things and different sides of the story.
Yeah. And it's like not intentionally, it's just kind of like your brain doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
But that's how you can like, it gets to the point where you like hear something back about yourself that's like completely false.
And then you're like, whoa.
Yeah. But like maybe the rumor started from something that's like true.
Mm-hmm.
Or like just like, you know, a little bit of a white lie about yourself or something like that.
Yeah. And I think just like in general with like life, society, and like specifically high school, is what people talk about you behind your back or when you're not there really is like what determines your reputation.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like, okay, it's great to have a friend that you can talk to. Like Danny's like, I'm gonna use Danny as an example, but like so much fun. Like we get along really well. But what I value more in a friendship is what comes back to me when I hear what Danny's talking about me when she's not with me, right? Like when you hear a friend who's like, oh my gosh, I was talking to so-and-so about you, and like I heard like you're the nicest person ever.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, like thank you.
Yeah.
But like when you hear like other things about other people, like I've heard like stories and like, oh, like she's mean, like when you talk to her, and then it automatically like makes you, I think, stereotype that person like before you even meet them.
We talked about how people are really quick to believe. Jazzy could tell me a singular thing about anyone I know and I would believe it instantly. It could be completely false. And I'd be like, oh yeah, okay. And I would believe it. And then I'm gonna go tell someone else that I trust. And that's how rumors spread and stuff
That's
like that.
so true. Like it's so easy. I realize it. Like I'm a really trustworthy person.
Yeah.
Like you could be like, yeah, like my mom's a furry, and I'd be like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You mean gullible? You're a gullible person?
Oh
yeah.
Like that's kind of bad now. Like because like I would never know.
No, yeah, like I couldn't tell the difference, and like I couldn't judge. Like it's like then it's like you're not judging a character in your like by yourself. Like you're judging a character off of like what you hear about them, which like isn't good. And like in high school, like people talk.
Yeah.
Stuff spreads so fast.
Which now I realize like lying. Okay, I have a story to tell.
Yes.
So one time I was downtown, and I don't even know like what the situation was, but like this, I think we were at like a restaurant or something, and we were watching the Avs game. We were at like a restaurant or like just something like really normal, and yeah, the Avalanche, which is the team of the hockey. It's the Colorado hockey team. I feel like people know that, but in case you're an out-of-state watcher. And this guy comes up to me and he was like, where are you from? And like, I don't know why, but like I wanted to act older my age.
Yeah,
so I was like, oh yeah,
that.
I'm a CU Boulders.
Like, well, you know, okay. Like you go downtown. We do this all the time. Like people will ask me like your age, and you're like, well, you can tell that they're older, so you're trying to impress a certain crowd.
Also, it was like an older person, so like I didn't want them to like actually know my identity.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, I'm a student. I'm like a Boulder student or something. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, like what are you studying? And I was like, oh, like I'm in the law school. And then he goes like, what law? And I was like, you know, like criminology law, like that civil law stuff. And he was like, so cool. And like, you know what, like that person probably believed that.
Yeah.
And he had no idea.
Yeah.
So like that's like when I think about it, like I'm not like saying like I'm a big liar like that.
No,
It just happened to be like the situation I was in. I was like, I don't want like this person really knowing who I am.
So she made up a whole lie and said,
yeah, because like that's like stranger danger, right?
Yeah,
so but like if you think about it, anyone you meet can tell you anything, and it's really easy for that, because if you're just like a trustworthy person, like of course I'm gonna believe you.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
If you're outgoing and you smile, like pathological liars, serial killers.
Yeah.
We need to be smarter about our situations.
We really do. Like we need to be less gullible.
Yeah.
I feel like that goes down to like just like the lesson that we're like, I mean, yes, we're about serial killers, but like in high school, like judge a character based off of what you know, not based off of what other people tell you. That's why I feel like I honestly do live by that too. Like people will be like, oh well, this person screwed me over, and I'm like, they didn't screw me over.
Yeah,
so
it's like I get along with that person.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a really like, don't judge everything you hear. Like, yeah, don't judge a person by what you hear, because I mean, maybe it can be true. I mean, like sometimes it is
a lot
true,
of times it is true,
but like also like you get to like learn about that person and like understand maybe what, let's just like if something happened, like you find out like they did something to someone,
yeah,
but like you learn like, okay, like maybe like this person has a really hard life, and maybe like they like show up and they're like kind of mean to some people.
Yeah.
Like I feel like everyone puts up a barrier or a wall, and like some people their wall is like really hardcore, like really like unfriendly, and some people's wall is like really outgoing and friendly and like doesn't show that much depth, but they're just like, oh my gosh, hi. Like
Yeah.
everyone's different how they like first introduce themselves. So you actually have to like understand a person at a deeper level.
Yeah, definitely. Back to like rumors and just like how everything spreads so fast too. It's so hard to clear your name. Like once something gets out about you, like people just like are gonna assume that forever. And like it's like the scenario that I was in recently, I was able to clear my name and like go up to that person that first heard this rumor or whatever and like be like, no, like that's not true. Like I didn't say that. Like this is the situation. But a lot of times like it gets too late for that. And then like you're just like stuck like the rest of high school and people like will still bring it up to this day. Like people will still be like, oh, like remember like the person that did this or whatever. And it like could be completely false. So I think that's just like, I don't know. That's just a situation that sucks.
Wait, which is like so true. Like I actually think that's like a great thing to like maybe give advice to like you, like everyone individually, is to not assume, because I think that people's mind wanders and they don't know a full story, so they'll make pieces for it. It's like a puzzle. It's like, okay, I don't know what that did, but I can infer that this happened. But like maybe stop assuming things, because you know a lot of the times it's not true. But also know that, okay, like if you did something that like looks a certain way, know it's gonna get around, know that people are gonna assume.
It's like irrelevant, kind of, not really, but like, you know, when like you already know something about a person and then like you hear something else about the story too, and like the pieces like come together.
What do you mean? Like, wait,
like,
I think I know what you mean.
It's like irrelevant basically, but it's just like, that's such a cool feeling when you already know something about like a story and then somebody else has like a different part of the story and they share the story and now suddenly you have a full story and you're like, oh my god,
and like your jaw drops.
No, I'm just like thinking about how that's such like a good feeling.
I've had some jaw dropping moments before. Actually, it makes sense. But no, like that's true though, because a lot of times people probably don't know unless you were there and you were a witness, you don't know the full story.
Even sometimes you are there and you don't know the full story.
Exactly. And which is so good to think about, because I think people want to know they're right and want to always think they're right, but like you got to know, like, if you're not living in that person's body, then you don't actually know what happened.
So last question I'm going to ask you is, do friends actually keep their secrets?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so
either. I think someone is always going to tell someone, and I don't think it's ever a negative sense.
Sometimes it is.
But
a lot of the times, like the secrets that I feel like have gotten out about me weren't like, it wasn't harmful. You know?
Just have to know, like, I'm gonna be honest, like I tell my sisters, I tell my mom a lot, so like, you know what I mean? Depends who you tell.
Yeah.
But also I know like personal things, like, okay, I can't say that.
Yeah.
But then, you know, like I also have to know like myself, like when I'm telling someone something, they're gonna know.
Yeah. Like you have to be, I 100% believe, like if you go and do something or say something, 100% expect for it to get out. Like I don't think that it's fair for you to like go out and like, if you want to keep something your business, don't tell anyone. Like keep it your business. I think that's totally doable. But if like if you're doing something that's shows bad character, like expect it to get out. Like that's the only thing I can say. Like it's gonna get out.
I also think that it has to depend on how big of a deal you think. Not actually, no. If I had a secret that I thought was a big deal, but then I tell you, like let's just say I was like, I'm gonna be honest, like I'm gluten-free now. Like this is a big deal, like I'm really insecure about it. Okay. Like you maybe not thinking gluten-free is a big deal, right? You'll tell other people about it.
And okay, I see now what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
They're not gonna think it's a big deal either.
If you told me you got with maybe so-and-so, I don't know, like a random situation, and then I was like, oh, like that's not a big deal, then it's more easily for me to tell someone else thinking it's not gonna affect you that much.
Versus like, then there are secrets where I'm like, oh, like that could really ruin someone's reputation. Like I won't spread that. Like I'm gonna keep that to myself.
It depends not really about the secret, how important you think it is, but how important that person thinks it is.
Oh my god, that is such a good point.
I just kind of realized that.
Yeah, that's so true.
If it's gonna like not gonna if I'm like, okay, like Danny's gluten-free, like whatever,
yeah, right,
but like to you it's like, oh my gosh, like I don't want people knowing about my diet.
Right,
it depends.
Right. That's so true. And I feel like that's where like the unharmfulness comes in. It's like it's just simply not knowing.
Yeah.
And sometimes people will preface secrets with like, okay, like you can't tell anyone this. Like it's like actually a big deal.
Yeah.
But still, I think if you prefaced your gluten-freeness with that and like, really, Danny, like you can't tell anyone this, I'd be like,
but like still
Okay.
like imagine it just slips out. Like you're at lunch one day with a friend and like, I don't know, I happen to be there and you're like, oh, like don't order that, like Jazzy's gluten free.
Yeah,
and I
true.
was like, Daddy, no. I don't know, like that could happen.
Right.
Because it just depends on like what you allow to slip. But if
Yeah.
I was like, Danny, like I have an illness, I feel like you keep that more personal.
Jazzy has cancer.
Like exactly. Like would you tell people that?
No.
Hypothetically.
Right. Jazzy doesn't have cancer. Yeah, no. Like there are secrets for sure, 100% that I'm like, no. Like that's not anyone else's business. And like it might not even have been in my business in the first place, but there's like some things that I'm like, okay, like, or you know what you can do? You can be the rumor stopper. Like you can be the one. Does my mic sound weird?
No.
Okay. You can be the one that like the rumor gets to you or like the story gets to you
And you have
like
to stop
yeah,
it.
you can be the one that's like, okay, like I'm not going to go tell anyone else. Like it's not anyone else's business. Like it's gotten far enough. Like if it's gotten to me, like then it doesn't need to go anywhere else.
That's a great thing I think we need to learn. Because I feel like it's that thing where it's like, okay, I'm in a group situation, everyone's doing it, I'm gonna do it. But if like you want to, like if you know, like someone tells you like, oh my gosh, did you hear so and so, like I don't know, something like embarrassing about that person,
Yeah.
you can be like, wait, if this was about me, I wouldn't want this being spread, so why would I spread this on?
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Be the rumor stopper. Be the person who's like, wait, we shouldn't be talking about this person. And it sounds easier than it is.
Yeah, I
'cause
know it's hard.
a lot of times it's just like, it's easy to just go along with it.
Like you're in a group setting, like maybe this specific friend group doesn't like this specific girl and like they're talking about her and you know something that they don't know. And so like the easiest thing to do and then like maybe the most fun thing to do would be like, oh my God, like, well, I heard this.
And just add it on.
Yeah. And then like suddenly though, this like whole friend group knows something that they shouldn't know.
Which I think honestly, like what we're talking about today is the biggest reason why I am excited to go to college. Because when everyone knows everything about someone, it's just like never a fun feeling.
No. That's why I want to go to a big college too. Like I'm terrified of going to a small college or like.
But I just feel like college in general, like you can choose so much.
No, yeah, you can. Yeah.
Because like, I mean, like you can, of course in high school you can choose your friends, you can choose what you say, you can choose everything.
But like by senior year, like the people you know are the people you know. And like I know so many people. So like, yeah.
it's easy for
Stuff's
things to
not
get
safe.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, that's a huge point. I don't know. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. If you have a really important something that you don't want people knowing, unless you like know this person's not going to tell a lot of people, or at least tell people who are irrelevant to the situation, like it's okay to be like, okay, if you told me a secret like that like weighs on me too, like if you were like, I'm really struggling and I was like, oh my gosh, like I gotta help her, I'm not going to tell anyone but maybe someone who's just really out of the picture, like,
Right. Okay,
my
yeah,
grandma.
that's a good idea.
I don't
Right.
know,
Right.
someone who like doesn't even really know you,
Right.
who can be like, hey, I have a friend who's struggling, how do I help my friend? That's a good point to like, when you like if that person needs help, maybe ask someone. Don't even give names. I have a friend who blah 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 blah, how would you handle the situation? That's fine, but maybe like that's a good point. I don't know.
Such a good point. Yeah. It's like because it's important still to have people that you can confide in. And so it's like if we're all like here like keeping like you shouldn't have to keep secrets, you know, like I don't know, like that's not really like what we're going about, is that like you shouldn't have to keep secrets, but like tell someone you trust.
And that you know that they would like, if anything, they're going to tell someone to help you.
Yeah, like if it's like
beneficial.
a good thing. Yeah.
But also maybe we should go on like, is the secret positive or is the secret negative?
I've been rewatching Pretty Little Liars, and the only thing that I can think of, like whenever we talk about that, is how like Allison said secrets keep friends close. I don't know what that means, to be honest. I never was able to
I've
figure
never
that out.
watched Pretty Little Liars.
It's a really good show. You should watch it. But like I think secrets like help build friendships, you know? Like sometimes I like feel like when someone's like, oh my God, Danny, like I have to tell you something, and like no one else knows, I'm like,
because you
you
feel like,
chose me to tell like the secret. Like I feel good about
no,
myself.
that's so true, because I do think that, you know, I feel like everyone, again, if we're gonna like look this as like a glacier, we have the tip is what everyone sees. First impression. Either a person comes out really friendly, really nice, but then everyone has a barrier, which is like that ocean part that you have to really you have to actually become a friend to like dig into it. Because everyone can tell you anything. So it depends what kind of a person you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I do think that there are people who are most of the time like they'll be nice, but like you really don't know who they are until you really get to know them.
Yeah.
And then there's people who are more on the surface, who's more of a glacier who's on top of the water.
Yeah.
So, but I do think like secrets and like confidentiality like is what builds a relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
I just think that like secrets that are maybe, I don't even know. It's honestly all psychological, I feel like.
Yeah. There's also just like lots of different types of secrets. Like it's hard to like say like secrets are good or bad. Like it's because there's like just like so many different like things that could have been said about a person, or like the secret's not even about you or whatever.
Yeah, like a gift secret.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what I'm getting you for your birthday.
True. Oh my God. Speaking of, I feel like I'm such a person, like I keep secrets, like secret Santas. I'm a person that likes to keep that secret. Like I actually won't tell anyone, but like there's a lot of people that will like
That's me.
tell you. Yeah. That
I'm so bad at giving gifts because I'll literally be like, give hints.
like, see, I will like 100%, like I want to do that, but at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, like it's going to ruin the point of a secret Santa.
Like, this is like, I know someone who was like giving me a gift and like just gave so many hints. And I was like, but like at the same time,
ruins the point of
it
the
just
gift,
like shows
but,
like how excited they
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
So I was like, oh, like that's okay. But like, again, like, I don't know. Makes you really think hard though.
it does. I don't know. I gave what? Yeah,
No,
go.
I
No,
just
you
thought
go.
of something. No, but like if someone has a chance, like if they're always like, I have something to tell you, like it's a secret, you have to maybe think like, how many people are they actually telling?
Yeah, true.
Because there's people who have to tell me a lot of like confidential things, but then I'm like, wait, but like then I heard like 2 days later like that this like you told this to other people. So maybe it's like the people who don't tell you a lot of secrets who are actually the ones who keep the best.
True. Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Well, I was just gonna say, any more advice?
Any more advice? I would say limit the circle you tell things to.
Yeah.
That's it.
And just like
At least deep
know who
things.
you're trusting.
Yeah, and know your friends.
Yeah.
Because if one of your friends is a really outgoing, talkative person, be like, okay, you know what? I love this person, but they just cannot know that I'm gluten free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
I'm not actually gluten free.
She's not. She might be.
I don't know.
Maybe we
Maybe-
just don't know.
Maybe that's my secret.
I don't know. My last piece of thing, or like my last thing to say is just like, once again, like if you don't want something getting out, like don't do it, or don't spread that you're doing it, you know?
Yeah, if it's like at least like a negative thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like if it's going to show bad character, that's all I'm saying.
Also, I don't know why I just thought of this, but don't put your secrets on any social media. Don't text them. Don't even Snapchat them. I think word of mouth is the way you want to do anything.
Yeah. Because then people screenshot. Like screenshots
Yes.
are a real thing, and like they can, yeah.
Like-
Having proof is never good.
I always like think about this, but like when you're telling, like I like to always tell stories through like videos or like FaceTime or anything, just not because it's like that, like, oh my gosh, like Jazzy's like, oh, so many things, but like I don't want anything on text or Snapchat.
Yeah,
because if
no,
you think
that's
about
fair.
it, what Snapchat is now all 24 hours, someone
Yeah.
could so easily show, and it could be an accident. Like if you're like I was thinking about this with like gifts. Like there was a time where I was like sitting next to someone and my mom like texted me and she's like, it came in, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
the gift came. Like, there's so many things that could go wrong. So
Yeah.
like if it's that big of a deal, never put anything on your phone.
Wait, or like recently, I like almost got like, I like dug myself into a lie because like someone saw my phone and it was like something negative. So I dug myself into a deeper hole to get out of the fact that I was like talking shit basically. Yeah. And so that was bad. I had to like I really dug myself into a hole. So that's like another lesson that I've learned is the mouth to mouth thing. Like that's the way to go, because if not, like someone might see your phone, like who knows?
Yeah, and I mean sometimes it doesn't have to be bad, but like I would just say know your surroundings, know who you're talking to. And also I think if you want to really value a friend, value not how they act to your face, but how they act behind your back. That's a lesson to learn, because what they say about you behind your back is the real determiner of what kind of friend they are.
I love that.
Because I mean, everyone's gonna talk, like, I could talk about Danny to anyone, but like Danny should always value, like, okay, what am I saying about Danny?
Yeah.
Am I saying I love Danny, blah, 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 or am I saying, gosh, I have to do this podcast with this one
it's
girl?
so annoying.
Right? Like, you want to know what everything's gonna come around circle, but really value when you hear someone's like, yeah, so and so said like you're such a nice person, like they like really love you, and you're like,
Yeah,
I
take that to heart.
take it to heart, because they're
Yeah.
talking about you in a positive mindset.
Or if you hear someone's like defending you, that always like makes me happy, and I try to defend other people too, because like defending someone in a group setting is like, that's hard.
And it's hard. Or I think it's interesting when someone comes to you and they're like, yeah, okay, when someone comes to you and they're like, oh yeah, all these people were talking bad stuff about you, and I like made sure to defend your name, I would watch that.
Yeah.
Because number one, why are they coming and telling you what people are they're saying about you? And number two, I think it's just interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying like, of course, like people are going to talk bad about you, probably in your lifetime. Doesn't matter. Don't take it personal.
Right.
But also, like, I don't know people's intentions, and it's hard to tell sometimes.
It is.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, I got all my talking out.
Yeah. Again, we're gonna try and film more consistently.
Yeah.
We're on break right now, but I just want to wish everyone a happy New Year, happy holiday.
Yes. Be better in 2023.
Yeah. I don't know. Be a better friend. I think that was our message in 2022. All of our episodes have came to like grow code users, just like be a better friend.
Yeah.
Support your friends. But yeah, again, all links. This is gonna be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Remember our socials, Instagram and TikTok. Try and blow us up. But yeah, I'm Jazzy.
I'm Danny.
And this is Come On Now. Thank you.